Yeah, we completed like 3 sessions. First session, okay, what kind of applications we can develop using Python? What kind of apps we can develop? The next one is like environment setup. Environment setup. What kind of applications we can develop using Python? We discussed like standalone. I'll share you the video links. The next one is like web applications. The next one is like distributed applications. The next one is like enterprise applications. These are the applications we can develop using Python. Okay. Environment setup. What I said first, install Python software in your machines. That is the first thing. The next one is like you can run once you install this Python software. Okay, you can run Python program in command prompt. How to do it? I discussed. The next one is like by using VS Code editor, how to run our Python program. The next one is like if you don't have Python software in your machine, if you not installed, no problem. You can run your Python program in online editors. That is also discussed. The next one, using Google Colab. Okay, using Google Colab, you created like a notebook. Okay, that is also discussed. The next one is like local notebook using Jupyter. Okay, local notebook using Jupyter. It's called as a Jupyter notebook. This one also discussed. In future, we are going to write a program in the IDEs like PyCharm, okay, Anaconda. This kind of IDEs also we can use it. Okay, this is our second day. We discussed the second day how to set up the environment. We discussed. Next one. Third day, the Python program internal process. Okay, Python program, how it is going to execute internally. Okay, how the Python program is like executed. That one we discussed or not. First, you have to create one file with the extension of either PyY or Python. Here you can write some code. This code I can say like a source code. Once you written this code, the next step is what? Anyone? We have some interpreters are there. Okay. We have some translators, I mean. Translators to translate or to convert your source code into compiled. Okay. Okay. The source code into mission understandable format code. The translators tell me what we discussed. One is like interpreter. The next one is like compiler. We discussed. Once my translator compile your code, you can get the compiled code. Compiled code. Okay, it's nothing but mission understandable format, zeros or ones like this. It's like a mission understandable format. This compiled code directly not able to understandable by the microprocessor to generate the output. Processor to generate the output. So who helps here to make your compiled code understandable by the microprocessor to generate the output? There has one more person come into the picture. That guy name is like a PVM, Python Virtual Machine. That one also we discussed or not. See, I'm going to draw. This is your source code. Okay, na? This is my Python program 1.py. 1.py. Whenever you run the program py.py command, you can get the output. You can get the output. What is my output? Based on your program, you can get the output or not. Let me show you the program. Let me open the VS Code. Now go to our workspace folder. Where is our workspace folder? This is the one. Let me print let me print something, okay, some message, okay, my name, okay, name dot py, I want to print it. So first thing is like what? If you want to write a Python program, the first thing is like you can create a file with the extension of either py or Python. That is the first thing. Once you created a file, you can write the code. That code can be 1 line or 100 lines. That is based on your requirement. Okay, based on your requirement, you can write your code. This code, whatever you written, that is called as a source code. Once you completed your program, you can run the program by running this command. Now you can see the VTS full printed or not. VTS full printed. Whenever you run this command, you get the output is like what? VTS full. But internally, what is the procedure? What happened to generate that output? To generate that output, what is the procedure internally followed? Now, whenever I run py1.py, I get the output is like VTS good. This is the one. But internally, what happened? First thing is like whatever you written in 1.py file, that one is going to compile by using some translators. Okay, which translators? One is like compiler, another one is like interpreter. Okay, both come under translator section. Translators, translators. Okay, na? Compiler and interpreter difference what you know? Compiler in your program, how many lines of code is there? All the lines at a time it is going to compile. But interpreter, how many lines are there? One by one. First line it is going to compile. Okay, second one, third one, fourth one, like that. It's going to generate the machine understandable formatted code. Compiler, entire code it is going to convert. Interpreter, line by line, it is going to convert into machine understandable format. So now once it is like compiled, okay, you can get the machine understandable format code. Okay, this is like a low level language, you can say. Okay, zeros and ones. Okay, zeros and ones generated from this compiled code to generate the output. Okay, who is going to generate, who is going to print some value in your terminal? Processor, right? That processor is going to generate the output. But the problem here, the processor by default he is not able to understand. Okay, here this is a system processor, it is not able to understand your Python mission understandable formatted code, Python low level code, zeros and ones, Python related compiled code, not understandable by the my Windows processor or Linux processor, whatever it is. Once my processor is not able to understand, then how it is going to generate the output? It's not able to generate the output. So here some other person helped my processor to understand this particular Python compiled code and generate the Python program output. Who is going to help here? There has one program is there, PVM stands for Python Virtual Machine. It helps to my processor understand this particular compiled code and generate the output. This is the procedure follows. Okay, that is the procedure internally. Okay, they follow. Whenever you run the program directly, you can get the output, but this is the actual procedure. Understand everyone? All are okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then up to here we completed. So, okay, in the last 3 sessions. Okay, today's session is like another concept. Okay, just I want to discuss about a general concept. Okay, it's like the concept name is like variables. Can anyone tell me what is variable? Any programming, C onwards, okay, C language if you know, Java if you know. This is like the definition is like common for okay any programming language. What is variable? When you can go with the variable? Okay, in Python, what is the syntax? What is variable? Okay, what is variable? When we can go with the variable? Okay, what is the syntax? What is the syntax in Python to create the variable? These are the general questions or not? Yes or no? Okay, in C or any other programming language, if you know one of the programming language, you may, okay, you may learn the variables concept or not. Why we go for variables? Any answers from anybody? General question. Don't think more.
Store the data.
To store the data. Simple thing, right? To store the data. What is data? What is data? Come on, it's like a facts, right? It's nothing but, okay, numerical values, alphabets, some of the special characters. Okay, these all are come under what? Data only or not? Yes or no? For example, okay, some formatted data. I have the name called as a Sachin. I have the name called as a Sachin. This is like a data, no? Okay, this data I want to use in future. If you want to use something in the future, some item in the future, first of all, that item should store somewhere or not. Then only, right? Okay, you can use it in the future. If you not store, then the time how we can use it? If that is not available, how we can use it? Yes or no? So that here also same story. Okay, you have some data. You have some data. Such is data. Okay, 1,000 amount is like a data. Okay, these all are come under what? Data only or not. Okay, if you want to use this particular value or if you want to use this data in future, this data I want to store or not. How we can store some data? How we can store some data in any programming language? We are going to basically work with data only, right? Okay, how we can store the data? That is the question. Your answer is like what? By using variables, we can store the data. That is not only Python. Any programming language, by using variables, we can store the data or not. Yes or no? Simple answer. Okay, now you can. Okay, what is variable? What is variable? The variable which represents some data or not. When we can go to store some data, you can say. Okay, that is only the answer. You can. Okay. Now, this is an important thing, right? These two definitions are common for any programming language, but the syntax is specific to Python or not. Now, my question is, how we can define a variable in Python? Okay, can you create one variable which should store some data such in? Can you create one variable to represent the data amount 1,000? These all are
X
the questions
equal to
or not?
1,000.
Now, can anyone tell me how we can create one variable in Python? Syntactically, how it looks like. Very simple thing. Come on. Anyone
X
knows?
equal to 1,000.
Okay, perfect. X equals to 1,000. Instead of giving like X or something, just you can give like what amount equals to 1,000. Okay, whenever, okay, naming convention is like an important. Whenever if you see this particular variable, you should have to assume like what it represents, what kind of data it holds. Like that, you have to understand. At the same time, your naming convention should be like that only. So my amount equals to 1,000. Okay, if I write like this in Python, it is like a valid syntax to create a variable. Now, if you observe here, there has two sections are there, right? The first section is what? Simply the amount. The second section is what? 1,000, right? What I can say, this amount is like a variable name, and this 1,000, I can say like what? Variable value. That's it. Simply this amount I can say like what variable name and this particular value 1,000 is there, right? That one we can say like a variable value. So if you want to create a variable in Python, simply the syntax is like what variable name and a variable value. That's it. Understood everyone? Got my point? Okay, just I want to create this variable. I want to show you. So we already created one workspace folder for our batch. This is the one. I created a notebook also. This is my local Jupyter notebook. Let me open that notebook. Okay. Now open the command prompt. This setup and everything you can see in our last session videos. Jupyter notebook. Okay, this is the command to run the notebook in your local. The same notebook you can open in the Google Colab also, but internet is required. But this is internet not there also, no problem. Okay, now create a new notebook. See, file, new notebook. Now give the proper name. Untitled is there. Na? The kernel you can select. Untitled is there, right? Can I give the name? What is the name? Today's concept variables or not? Like this you can. Okay, done. Up here, okay? How to open the notebook? Shall we create one simple variable? Or we can create a variable as you said. First one is like what? Variable name. The second one is like what? Variable value or not. So can I run this one? Okay, run this particular cell. Okay, if I run that particular statement got executed without any errors. Now see my name. What is the value of the name? What is the value of the name? Come on. Name is like a Sachin or not.
Sachin.
Okay, this is the way you can create a variable. But now onwards, you have to think and you have to give the answer. Up to here, it's a simple thing. It's not a big deal. Everyone knows. Okay. Now I'm going to write the statement. You can give me the answers. Okay, na? Okay. Print amount. If I run this one, what happens? Now onwards, you have to think. Come on. Print amount. If I run this statement, what happens?
Error.
Yes. Okay. What is that error? I want like an error messages now onwards.
అమౌంట్ ప్లేస్ లో ఏం లేదు కాబట్టి ఇంకా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోలేదు కాబట్టి.
Okay. Exact error message. Now see, you are trying to print. Okay. First, you can go with this. Okay. What is the output? What is the output? Come on. You are
VTS not defined.
VTS not.
VTS not defined, you said. Now see this, the VTS printed or not. First one is like wrong answer. That's okay, we can come back. Now,
Using strings.
name amount is not defined. It's okay, fine. Now see, print, it's like a predefined function in Python. At the time of functions, you can come to know. Don't worry about that one. See this. You are trying to print VTS. Say the VTS itself enclosed with double quote, right? VTS itself a value or not? Tell me. VTS itself a value or not? Which kind of value this is? String, so that
String
string
value.
printed or not. But if you come to the printer, the amount is like a value. Now is it like enclosed with double quote or single quote? All right, the amount is not a value. If it is not a value, either string or some other, if it is not, then that time Python understand this is like a reference. It is refer to some value. Reference, who can refer some value? Variables. So my Python can understand like this is like a variable. Whenever my Python understand this is like a variable, any variable declared with the amount, it is going to check. Is there any variable declared with the amount name? Tell me.
No.
Is there any variable declared? No. So that, okay, what is that one? Exact error, tell me. Name amount is not
Not
defined.
defined.
Okay. Now see, most of the times you can see this error. That means you are trying to access some variable, access some member, that member is not available. That kind of, whenever you can see this error, you can understand like that. You are trying to, okay, you access some member, that member is not available. Understood, everyone? If I write like this, tell me, print the amount. Now this time, now this time, the amount, everyone knows this one. Okay, this time it is like the amount only. Why? Now this is
Because double
value.
quotes are
This
there.
is a value. Okay, if it is a value, directly you can print it, directly print it. But here it is a value, now it's a value reference. It is
Value
value
reference.
reference is nothing but a variable. That variable is not defined. That's the reason you can get the error. Name amount is not defined or not. Number one. Okay. Okay then. Now I'm going to write like this. If I run this one, what happened? I'm going to run this cell. What happened? So you don't think more. General. Come on. Yes. It is
Not
like a
defined.
string. It's a variable. Come on. It is like a value, na variable reference.
Variable.
Variable.
Variable reference. That variable defined or not defined? Before
Not
that,
Not
defined.
not
not
defined. If it is not defined, what is the error? Name is
Is
not defined. That's it. Name is not defined. Now my question is very simple question. My output should be, okay, 30. Okay, if you want to run, okay, if you want to get the output is like 30 while running this cell, what do you have to do? I
Is
don't want
equal to
this
30.
error. My output should be 30. Then what do you have to do? You have to create one variable or not. Yes or no? Now, if I run this one, now see this, you can get the values like what? 30. Agreed everyone? So, variable, if you want to create, this is the syntax you can follow in Python. Before declare the variable, if you try to use, till the time you can get the error is like what? Is or whatever the variable name is not defined error, you can get it or not. Okay, na? Everyone agree with me? Okay, na? Shall we move to the next one? Okay, then.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going to write one simple statement. Okay, you can give me some answer. Okay, that statement you have to justify. Oh, because of this one, you said this statement like that. Okay, na? My statement is what, Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, this is the statement. My statement is like very simple. Python is a dynamically typed programming language. Okay, that is general statement, valid statement only. So, can anyone tell me why I said like Python is like a dynamically typed programming language? That is the question.
it stores large amount of data.
Stores large amount of data. Okay, perfect. Okay, any other answers?
Is functionally oriented and object oriented.
It's like functional and object oriented. That is like a future of Python. Okay, next, any other? Okay, then before come to this point, I want to tell something about either C or Java. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, na? So you know Java, little bit idea. Anyone having any idea? At least C.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know, right? Okay, in C, I want to create one simple variable which represents 100, which represents 100. Then how we can create a variable in C? Anyone?
Int
Int my amount equals
amount
to
equal
amount
100.
equals to 100, like this, right? Int amount equals to 100. This is the syntax. Here, 3 sections are there, na? Okay, this is one section, and this is one section, this is one section. But if you observe in the Python, last 2 sections are there, first section not there. But in C, Java, .NET, these all are having like, okay, these all are having like 3 sections. The first one is like a type. The second one, as usual. The second one, as usual, tell me. It's like a variable name. The
Variable.
next one is like a
Value.
variable value or not. Perfect. Now, see, the purpose of variable is what? To store the data. If you want to store the data, first of all, some space is required. Now, then only, right, I can keep something. If the space is not there, how we can keep it? Yes, no? Yes or no? If you want to store 100, first of all, space is required or not? To store 100, space is required
Yes.
or not? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so in C, in Java, .NET, first they allocate the space for this particular variable based on the type. What is the type here? Tell me. Int.
Int.
If it
Int.
is like a Java, Okay, if it is like Java, if for integer data type, they allocate how much space, 4 bytes
4
memory.
byte.
4 bytes.
4 bytes memory they are going to allocate. Perfect. 4 bytes memory. Okay, first they allocated 4 bytes memory. Inside that particular memory, they keep how much data? Okay, what is the value they are going to keep? 100 or not? 100. Okay, now that particular memory allocated, right? Okay, somewhere some space is there. If you don't know the address, how we can go and store? If you don't know the address, how we can get something from the store? First of all, address is required or not? Yes or no? Okay, that address means the location pointing with some name. If you know the address, you can get it or not. So by using this particular data type, they allocate the 4 bytes memory. That memory pointing with what? With the name of what? Amount or not? Yes or no? Okay, so if it is like integer, how much memory allocated? 4 bytes memory
4 bytes.
allocated. That memory pointing with which name? Amount.
Amount.
Okay, inside that one, how much? What is the value they allocate? They kept
100.
100 or not? Now, whenever you use amount in this location, how much is there? That much you can get like an output or not. This is the procedure for what? Okay, either C you can take it, Java you can take it, .NET you can take it. This is like a procedure. Okay, na? So my question is very simple, straight question. Memory allocated first, okay, that value stored first, when it is going to happen first? By seeing
Memory
this one.
allocated first.
First memory allocated, na? As I said, if the story, okay, the space is not there, how we can allocate the memory?
How
Okay,
can store?
the space is not there, how we can keep the data? So memory allocated first or not? So now I'm going to write like this. Okay, int a equals to something like this. Int a equals to something like this. Okay, perfect. Now tell me, int a equals to this value, na? First, if it is like Java, for this particular int, how much memory is going to allocate? As usual,
4 bytes.
4
4
bytes memory.
bytes.
That is not changed, right? That 4 bytes memory space referred by whom? A. Inside
Yeah.
that 4 bytes memory, after allocating the memory, now they are going to keep this value or not? Now tell me, in this particular 4 bytes memory, can I keep this much data? Is it possible?
No.
No, it is exceeded or not? Okay, here
Not.
memory allocated first. After that, they are going to try. They are trying to keep some value. If the value is like big, okay, then the time it gives me an error or not? Okay, simple Java program. Can we run it? Okay, now if you not install Java, if you not install Python, where we can run the program? In our online editors or not? Simply online Java editor. Online Java editor. Can I go with the online Java editor? Any one of the editor you can. Okay, I'm going to use like a tutorial point. Okay, don't think more. Okay, here I'm going to write like int amount equals to
Amount.
1000. Semicolon is mandatory in Java. So you can put like what? System.out.println amount. Don't think more. Okay, what is system.out. What is class? All these things. Okay, see the output. That's it. You're getting or not? Now, instead of this one, if I do something like this, then that time what happened? See that? What is the error you getting? Integer number too large. Why? Because you allocated 4 bytes memory only. Okay, you are trying to keep like what? A big number which requires more than 4 bytes memory or not? So that you can get like what? You can get like
Error.
an error. Integer number is too large. This error is for okay Java, .NET, C, any language.
Bytes.
While creating the variable, if you mention that type, this is applicable or not? Now come to the Python. Now go to our variables. Can I write something like this? My amount equals to, okay, I written like this. Now, can I run it? Now, can I
Yes.
write amount? Now, if I come here, it's working as expected or not? It is working as expected or not? Okay, now tell me what happened internally. My Python internally, what happened? That is the question. The first one is like, this is the
There
variable,
is no
right?
data format.
This is the variable or not? Yes or no? Here in Python, what happened? They not allocate the memory first. whenever you use this variable, okay, dynamically how much memory is required for this, that much memory they allocate dynamically like this. Understood or not? That means they not allocate the memory. When they are allocating the memory, whenever you use amount, then the amount value, how much memory is required, that much memory allocated and keep that value then ready to use or not. So here the memory allocated first and then keep the value. Now they are going to allocate the memory based on the value, how much it is required. Come on. They allocate the memory based on the value, how much it is required. Dynamically, they calculate and allocate the memory and keep the value. Not like Java, first allocate the memory and then keep the value, right? Here, the value, how much is
Directly.
required. It is going to allocate the memory. Dynamically, it is going to allocate the memory and keep the value or not. That's the reason here there is no chance of, okay, lagging the memory. Okay, why? Because how much is required, that much they are going to allocate dynamically or not. That's the reason. Come on, that's the reason. What is the statement? My Python is a. That's the reason my Python is a dynamically
Dynamically
typed
storage.
programming language or not. That's the reason you can say like a my Python is a dynamically typed programming language or not. Agreed, everyone? Like Python, do we have any other programming languages which are like dynamically typed programming languages? You have a JavaScript. Okay, my JavaScript also dynamically typed programming language. JavaScript also come under dynamically typed programming language. There is no type for the variable in JavaScript. It is also understood. Up here, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then the next statement I'm going to write. Just you can answer it. Okay, if I run this one, what happens?
Error.
What is that error?
Values are not defined.
Values or
అదే ఏకు ముందు జీరోస్ డిఫైన్ చేస్తారు కదా,
okay,
అవి డిఫైన్ చేయడం వల్ల ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది.
okay.
అంటే క్యారెక్టర్స్ గానీ వాల్యూస్ గానీ ముందుగా డిఫైన్ తీసుకోదు.
Okay, okay, perfect. Any other answers? Any other answers? Okay, yes, you are right. Now, if you come here, see this. This is which kind of error? It is like a syntax error or not. Syntax error is nothing but see the difference between this error and this error. What is this one? Name error is there. What is this one? Syntax error is there. What is the difference between syntax error and name error or some other error? Syntax error and some other errors. What is the difference? Can anyone? Come on. Anyone? Huh?
సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్ అంటే దాని గైడ్ లైన్స్ ఫాలో అవ్వకపోతే సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్.
If you not follow the rules and the okay rules, for example on programming language somebody introduced, okay, they followed like what, they introduced some guidelines, set of rules and guidelines or not. So you should have to follow those rules and guidelines or not. That is common for, okay, each and every language has their own specific rules and guidelines. If you not follow, then the time obviously you can get the errors or not. So one of the guideline is what, okay, the variable name should not start with what, digits or not. Yes or no? Okay, so the syntax error means you not follow the guideline. What is the guideline? Okay, the guideline is like the variable name should not follow the should not starts with a digit or not. Understood? Okay, then. Come on, will it work or not work?
ఇన్వాలిడ్.
Invalid again. Okay, it's like a which kind of error?
స్పేస్
It's a kind of which kind of error?
సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్.
it is again the syntax error or not. Okay, this time, okay, this particular first and name, the variable name should not contains any spaces or not. The variable name should not contains any spaces. Okay. Valid or invalid? Underscore.
Valid.
Valid. Valid or invalid?
Not valid.
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 Okay. Valid or invalid?
Valid.
Valid.
Okay. Okay, simple. Like this only can. Okay. Dollar not accepted. Dollar not accepted. Okay. Underscore is going to accept. Okay. Name. Accept or not accept? Okay. Somewhat like it's a special character. Okay, not accepted. So its special character is going to accept. Underscore, you can add it. Underscore, you can add it. Okay. Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid?
Valid.
Valid.
Invalid. Why? Because here for is
It
there
is a
now.
keyword.
It is a reserved word or a keyword in Python. Keywords, okay, they have their specific functionality.
Names.
You should not okay, use that particular reserved words or keywords as a variable name. As a variable name. Okay. So it's like a invalid. Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid?
Valid.
100% valid. It should not start with digit, but in the middle, at last, you can put like a digit. No problem at all. No problem at all. Understood? All are? Like this only you have to practice. Okay? Okay then. Now, I'm going to write something like this. You only tell me the difference. Okay, what is the difference between this one and this one? These two are like variables only, right? The first variable is what? The first variable represents what? The second variable represents what? The first
Value
variable
and string.
which represents some value, the value type is like what? Looks like a
Integer
number
type.
or not. Integer, you can say. Here, my name was Sachin. It is like what?
String.
It is like a string or
String.
not? Okay, when you can go with this one, when you can go with this one, not like Java. If you observe Java, int a equals to, okay, 10. Then the type, by seeing this one, you can understand like what? Okay, either Java or C, the variable a holds integer value or not. Yes or no? Come on, yes or no? Okay. But in Python, do we have the type for the variables? Do we have the type for the variables? No, there is no type for the variables. Can anyone tell me name equals to 100, valid or invalid?
Valid.
100% valid, right? But okay, as per okay our value, it is not a valid name, but syntactically 100% valid or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now, what you can understand? In Python, there is no type for the variables, but okay, you have to give the proper naming convention. You have to give the proper name based on that particular value or not. Okay, amount equals to 1000, that's okay, but name equals to 100, is it like valid? Okay, that means syntax is correct, but naming convention wise, is it recommended way of writing? Is it like recommended way of writing? No, right? No, right? Now if you go to the Java, go to Java. Now if I write like this, int amount equals to 100, is it valid or invalid? Come on, is it valid or invalid? Is it like valid or invalid? Valid or
Valid.
invalid? Invalid, right? Why? Because you created a variable with which type?
Type.
Integer type, but assigning which value?
String value.
String value,
String
so that
value.
it's a incompatible type or not. Okay, in Java, if you create a variable with int, you have to assign the integer data only, string data only, same kind of data only you have to pass it or not. But in Python, okay, there is no type for the variable. The variable can hold any kind of data or not. Yes or no? The variable can hold any kind of data or not. Agree with me or? Okay, now I have small requirements, you only tell. In Python, if you want to represent one player name, how we can represent that player name? My player name is like Kohli. So how we can represent the player name?
My
Player name equals to Kohli. Can I write like this? Valid or invalid?
valid.
100% valid. Okay,
Valid.
I want to represent like, okay, 10,000 rupees. Come on. Amount equals to
Amount equal to
10,000,
10,000
like this you
rupees.
can. Okay, I have one student is there. That student promoted to the next class. I want to represent the data. The student promoted to the next class.
Equal to
Promoted to the next class. Yes, he promoted. True, false. Okay, so how we can? Is he promoted? Name can be anything. Is equals to what? Is he promoted or not promoted? Promoted or not promoted?
Promoted.
Right?
Promoted.
So that the value is like what?
True.
True.
True. Okay, can I write like this? Yes or no? Name true is not defined. Name true is not defined. Why? No.
License.
Okay, no problem. You only can answer. Location Mumbai. What is my answer?
Mumbai.
Why? You created a variable LOC with the lowercase letters. But here you are looking for the LOC starts with uppercase.
Uppercase
Starts with uppercase. There are not there are.
Not there.
Not there. So that what is the error? One variable is not there. Name LOC is
not
not
defined.
defined. That means, can you conclude one statement? Is like a type string. Okay, first of all, it's like a case sensitive or not. Case sensitive or not. Python is a case sensitive or not.
Case
Come on.
sensitive.
Right.
Yes, right. Yes, right. Exactly. LOC means LOC lowercase only how to use it. Python is like a case sensitive. It's like a type strict or not. Type strict or not. Player name is there. Can I add like 1,000? Will it work or not work? Will
Work.
work.
Work
There is
out
no type here. There is no type here. Okay, is he promoted? True is there. Na? Name true is not defined means it is treated like a value. Na? It is treated like a variable. Na?
variable.
Variable. So in Python, if you want to represent a
Valid.
Boolean value, capital T. Capital T. Okay? Okay, na? Okay. The next one. I have 3 students. I want to represent the data. Okay, I have 3 students, S1, S2, S3. I want to represent the data. Tell me how we can.
S1 equal to
Students,
S2 equal to
students
S3
is
equal
equals to 3 students. S1, S1,
S
S2,
comma
and
S2 comma S3.
S3 or not. Like that, we can represent multiple students or not. This is called as what, as you said, this is like a string, and this is like a number, this is like a bool, and this one is what? It is a list in
List.
Python. Okay, the same data, if you want to represent multiple ways are there. Okay, you can go with another one is like tuple, another one is
Tuple.
like a set, another one is like a dict,
List.
range, like this different data formats are there. We'll see those data formats and remaining things in the next session. Okay, any questions so far, anybody? Anyone have any questions? No? Okay, then we'll continue one things in tomorrow's session. Thank you guys. Bye.